Hey guys, Midnight Max here, and today Savage will be showing us his Altergeist deck profile for May from the Flames instructions.
Yeah. So let's start with the main deck. Obviously, the new guy, Multifaker at 3. This card is nuts. If it's special summoned, summon a guy from the deck. Sure. When I activate a trap card, for most of my deck, special summon this card from hand. Sure. Other than that, it makes links a lot easier for this deck now, and pretty much all the Altergeist you run at 3 anyway. So, but if the deck would be changed monster-wise, you'd change some of the traps so that you can fit in Ghost Ogres and either Ashes or the other one. I can't remember the other one.
I would think like you could put in a semi-little draw engine like the spellbook thing.
You could, but it's not ideal.
Well,
anyway, the next one is Marionetter at 3, because it rotates you the trap.
We don't really need to go into much detail with the old ones.
Meluseek's at 3, because it's good spot removal. Silquitous is at 2, due to the fact that you ideally don't want to see it at the start of the game. You kind of want to see it like once you've got enough cards on board to bounce around. That's why that's a 2. I take in the one Kunquery, due to the fact that it is an attack negator, but you're not necessarily going to need it. So it's good as a one-off. But anywho, we'll move on to spells. Raigeki. Wasn't that quick. Trap lineup. The new trap, Altergeist Emulatelf. The reason why it's at 1 is it's a nice little tech, but doesn't really do anything for the deck except for give you a guy. And if you really need to, you can recycle it with Silquitous if needed, but not likely. Then we got 3 Altergeist Protocol. The deck needs it at 3, hands down, because it stops them from negating the effects on the field. It's also a good warning. Well, negates monster effects and destroys the monster, so it's really good for that. Next, personal spoofing. It's at 3 because it's a non-rotable card, and it's really good for the deck for like changing up whatever you need and when you need it. Manifestation. It's called a haunted form. That's rotable. Pretty damn good.
Bang.
And finally, Altergeist Camouflage. Once again, doesn't really do much for the deck, but it's okay at 1. If you're gonna change the trap lineup, Camouflage probably would come out, and to be honest, a Molf would come out as well. Next, we have 2 anti-spell fragrance. As you noticed, I only have 1 spell. I might as well run these. Stop my opponent or slow them down. After that, Lost Winds, as per normal. This time, I'm running Heavy Storm Dusters instead of Twin Twisters, because it's a trap deck. So instead of having to wait a turn via being under anti-spell fragrance, Why not run Heavy Storm Dusters? It makes sense for the deck. Storm and Mirror Forces at 2, as per normal. I am running triple Floodgate Trap Hole, because if I don't get the cards I need at the time, I can delay my opponent until I get those cards. Once again, these would probably come out for some Ghost Ogres or whatever, hand traps, along with the next card, which is Compulse. That would probably come out for a Judgment if you need it. I also run Bottomless, 2 strikes, and a Solemn Warning. I don't run a Judgment, as you may all know, due to the fact that I feel like it's too high cost for me. But if you really want to, take the Compulse out for it. In comparison to all the other cards, Compulse is bum, but it's in there as a deck choice for me. Moving on to extra deck. Altergeist Kidolga. It's an alright card, but it's like at best a one-off, because it does what Borreload does, but for the graveyard, and it's not really as good as all the other Altergeist cards, link-wise. But the best one is the one that's coming up next, which is Hexstia. Run at 2, because it's such a strong card. The fact that you just sack off an Altergeist that is linked to it to negate spells and traps, whilst you got Protocol to negate monster effects. So you got full out negation for everything. It also gains attack buff from what's underneath it, the original attack buff.
It reminds me of the Paladin Linkmaster Archlord. Oh well, Archlord. It's the exact same thing.
Fair. The next 2 Link 2s are Poxy and Undercolock Taker. They're good generics, and to be honest, if I make one like Link 3, I could put a Proxy underneath it for protection if needed. Undercolock Taker for reducing my opponent's attack so that my guys are bigger. Finally, we've got my Link 3s and my Link 4s. Altergeist Primebanshee and Decode. Decode's a good generic, and Primebanshee is only good at 1. Its effects are fairly bum for a Link 3, but it's still a good one-off. And Borreload, as per normal for Link. Any Link spammable deck, Borreload's a good one. Moving on to my extra deck, which consists of not my extra deck, my Xyz, my ranks. Gagaga Cowboy, Castel, Dweller, and finally Utopia package. As you may notice, I'm a Link heavy deck, not an extra deck.
Well, most decks are becoming Link heavy.
Deck, a rank deck, due to the fact that
Links can be more spammable.
Yeah, and they're less likely to be stopped. These ones are in here due to the fact of they deal with problems and Cowboy to finish game. That's literally it. And that's all of this for you.
That's been Savage's Altergeist, update or
Quick pointer. If you want to put cherries in there, I would suggest there would be more links in there, and you'd probably run one-offs of each of the nightmares. Mainly because you can still hit them. If you don't, you can use them as cherry targets to stop them from pulling it off. Quick pointer.
So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.